You know, he's a person who has suffered courtesy of those acts, you know. So
he has to put it that way, right?
So he also has to cover his bases,
right,
and make sure that this time around, you know, for him this is crunch time. So he has to make sure that this thing is watertight, or rather is telling IBC, are you sure what you have done is watertight? If not, go back to the drawing board, because now we've raised certain issues. You know, he just talked about hacking, which is a reality.
Exactly.
We live in an era where people hack, you know. So how hard would it be? You just need to invest in technology. And these politicians have money, you know, and both camps have money. To invest in software and technology of hacking, you just need a good person to do that work. So at the end of the day, they need to make sure that their transmission is watertight, all right? Or rather, they can protect it. And they also need a backup, because if you don't have a backup, now this thing will also fall on their face, you see. So at the end of the day, IBC, I'm pretty sure, like what the way you put it makes some sense, because IBC, rather, the silent language be told to them, go back and check your systems. If you think they are okay, just go back and confirm. If they are not, do something extra. Or maybe someone might have gotten information on what you intend to do.
Yes.
So go and change tact. Because if you remain the way you are, someone will infiltrate your system.
Are you trying to say that politicians are way ahead of the IBC?
Or they might not be. You see, it's more or less like, you know, these things that tell you, open this site and what have you.
Right.
Sometimes everything is okay. Until you go and open, that is when you give them access to what they want. So in short, what I'm saying is, if they believe that whatever they have is in order, let them maintain it. But if they believe there's something they need to add, let them do it. Because this election has to be won fairly. So that anyone who loses, no, let's not just look at the presidential, going down as well. Anybody who loses doesn't have the gall to go out there and force people into violence. Because at the end of the day, someone needs to see that I have lost this thing fair and square. You concede and you move on, all right? Because we have to have a country on the 10th of August. Life has to go back to normal. This issue of voting and extending this issue for 3, 2, 4, 5 or 1 year does not help anyone. As it is, the economy people are suffering. So the more you extend this thing, the more the suffering continues. So politicians need to understand there has to be a life post 9th of August. Because these things, it should never be a matter of do or die. If you're trying to help Kenyans and solve their issues, if the IBC announces a result that are free and fair, and you realize that you have lost, my friend, just walk away and let people move on. You have your time to plan and come back. But IBC, like we said, IBC needs to put its act together. Because in those 10 concerns, 1 or 2 might be valid.
And somebody can take you to court.
And someone will take you to court because they will say, we raised these concerns before the election. You did nothing, and we're here because of that. So you need to cover your bases as well. Because if they don't, then they'll find themselves in court. And this will automatically nullify an election, which is expensive as it is.
But are we